Every winter, something magical happens. Tiny frozen crystals begin falling from the sky. But have you ever wondered how snow actually forms? The hidden science behind snowflakes. Every winter, something magical happens. The sky turns gray, the air becomes colder, and suddenly tiny white crystals begin to fall from the clouds. Snow. It quietly covers cities, forests, and mountains in a soft white blanket. But have you ever stopped and asked yourself a simple question? How does snow actually form in the sky? How do tiny drops of water floating inside clouds suddenly turn into beautiful snowflakes? And how can each snowflake have a unique shape? To understand this, we need to travel high above the ground, into the cold and mysterious world inside winter clouds. Everything starts inside clouds. Clouds may look soft and light from the ground, but they are actually made of billions of tiny water droplets floating in the air. These droplets form when water from oceans, lakes, and rivers evaporates and rises into the atmosphere. As the air cools, the water vapor condenses and forms clouds. But when temperatures drop below freezing, something incredible begins to happen. Instead of staying as liquid droplets, some of this water begins turning into tiny ice crystals. And these crystals are the very beginning of snow. Snowflakes start as microscopic ice crystals. High inside cold clouds, water vapor sticks to these tiny ice particles. Little by little, more and more frozen water attaches to them. As this happens, the crystal begins to grow. And here's where nature becomes truly fascinating. Because of the way water molecules arrange themselves when they freeze, snow crystals grow in a six-sided structure. This is why snowflakes almost always have 6 arms. As they fall through the cloud, they continue collecting more frozen water, slowly transforming into the delicate snowflakes we see falling from the sky. You may have heard the famous claim, "No two snowflakes are exactly the same." And surprisingly, scientists believe this is mostly true. As snowflakes fall through the atmosphere, they pass through different temperatures and humidity levels. These tiny changes affect how the crystal grows. Some snowflakes grow thin branches. Others form plates, needles, or star-like shapes. Because the conditions inside clouds are constantly changing, every snowflake follows a slightly different path. The result? Millions of unique frozen designs falling from the sky during a single snowfall. But if clouds are made of water, why does it sometimes fall as snow instead of rain? The answer depends mainly on temperature. When the air inside the cloud is below freezing, ice crystals can form. If the air between the cloud and the ground stays cold enough, those crystals remain frozen as they fall, and we see snow. But if the snowflakes pass through a layer of warmer air before reaching the ground, they can melt. When that happens, they turn into raindrops instead. So the difference between snow and rain often depends on just a few degrees of temperature in the atmosphere. Here's another interesting question. Snow is made of ice, and ice is actually clear. So why does snow look white? The answer has to do with how light interacts with the snowflakes. Each snowflake contains many tiny ice surfaces and air pockets. When sunlight enters the snow, it reflects and scatters in many different directions. This scattering mixes all colors of visible light together, and when all colors combine, our eyes see white. That's why fresh snow looks so bright and pure. So the next time you see snow falling from the sky, remember that each snowflake has traveled a long journey. From invisible water vapor to a tiny ice crystal inside a cloud, growing slowly in the freezing air high above the earth, until gravity finally brings it down to the ground. A delicate piece of frozen geometry created by the atmosphere itself. Nature turning simple water into one of the most beautiful sights on our planet. If you enjoy discovering the hidden science behind everyday mysteries, make sure to subscribe to the channel Because sometimes the most ordinary things around us have the most fascinating stories hidden inside them. Even something as simple as snow. And if you made it this far, let me know in the comments, what mystery should we explore next?